Alright, so, it's 12:09 at night, and I'm just sitting here watching Shay Tart's videos. Shay's carrying his luggage up the steps, and because the elevator was too slow, and I was like, oh my gosh, this totally happened to me once. I went to Mexico in March, and, the elevator where we stayed, like, we stayed in a couple different places, but this one hotel that we stayed at, the elevator took forever. And I think I rode in it like once, and it was tiny. Like, I'm not complaining. Now I sound like a really lazy American, but the reason why I needed an elevator was because I had 2 bags of luggage that were like bags, whatever. That, like, one of them weighed close to 50 pounds, and the other one wasn't so bad. I think that was like more like 20 pounds, but my luggage was really heavy because, like, I had to take my own, well, I didn't have to take my own water, but I did because I was paranoid. I was like, I don't want to wash my toothbrush and anything. I don't want to blah blah blah, whatever, it doesn't even matter. So I the first night, I don't even remember what room we were in the first night, because we stayed there at the beginning of our trip, and then we like traveled to different parts of the country, and then we went back to that same hotel. And I know the second time we stayed on floor 15, and my luggage was lighter by then, but I like raced. I had 2 roommates, and I raced those 2 up. They took the elevator, I took the 15 flights with 2 bags. I ran all the way up, and I made it there before them. That's how slow that elevator was. I was with my group in Mexico, and we were meeting in the lobby at 9 o'clock. So around 8:50, like, I had been there for probably about a half an hour, and at 8:55, like, there was 2 computers in like the lobby area, but it was in like a separate room. Like, you couldn't see the lobby when you were in that separate room at the computers. I want to go, like, I was like messaging my mom, so I went into the computer room, and I'm like trying to log onto the computer. I'm like, this is taking too long. I looked at the time, it was like, it was around 9 o'clock, I think. So I don't know if it was like 1 minute after 9 or whatever, I don't know, but I had no idea what we were doing. I knew we were going to eat breakfast. So I went out to the lobby, and like there was, you know, maybe like 5 people when I went to go check the computer, and everyone was gone when I went out there, and I was like, oh my gosh! I was like freaking out. I was like, oh no, because see, I thought we were all sitting there waiting for a bus to get there. So I started like panicking. I went up to the person at the desk, and I was like crying. I was like, do you know where my group went? And she was like, I saw them walk out the door, and like she was trying to understand what I was saying, and I was like, I don't understand you, and you don't understand me. It was so bad, and I was like, man, I really need to learn more Spanish. I just sat there crying for a little bit, thinking, I mean, I had pesos, so I could have like bought breakfast for myself, but I was more scared that they left for the day without me. And then this guy, I don't really know if I could say his name, but he was such a sweetheart. He was the one that, and if he's watching this for some random reason, I don't know, you're a sweetheart. But he was like our Mexican leader, professor kind of person. Like, we had our American professor, and then he was our Mexican professor. And he comes in, and he like touched my shoulder, and I turned around, and I was like, hi, and he was like, what are you doing here? And it was like, I was like, I love you. I don't know if I said it or not, but I was like, oh my gosh, you're my savior. And he was like, we're down the street eating breakfast, what are you doing here? He was like, your friend Sam asked where you were, and then I came back to find you. And I was like, thank you so much. You saved my life. And I was like, I thought you took a bus, and I thought you left without me. And I was like, why didn't you do a head count? It was great, and that's my story of being lost in Mexico.